reputation system is a system which adds consequence to the player's actions within the royal lands. Basically, under the reputation system, anyone choosing to renounce the king's law and attacking other players will incur a reputation penalty for their actions and may suffer the consequences, whereas people who are, being a good citizen, doing things the royal faction like, will gain a positive reputation and can show this reputation off. The King's lands in Albion are actually a couple of outlying islands in front of the mainland. This is where the king established his control and where some cities have been built up. And this is where he's kind of assertive, he's kind of enforcing his law. Obviously the guards are not enough to be around everywhere, and this is why a large part of the royal lands are not considered safe, but they're much safer than the lawless lands. The lawless lands are deeper in the inland of Albion. They're actually the mainland, and there the king's forces simply haven't reached yet. They don't have any of this under control, and actually they're not really, aware that anyone's really there. But smugglers have popped up that are transporting people from these royal islands over to the lawless lands. And their guilds are forming who are taking control of the land and building empires on their own, completely beyond the king's reach. Players will gain reputation by performing acts which are considered positive by the royal faction. These are actions like fighting the inhabitant creatures of Albion and beating the threat back that way, and by harvesting resources which basically drive the markets of Albion. These are the things that, while you're under the king's law, will incur a positive reputation. The benefit of having a positive reputation is, first and foremost, trust. Other players can see your positive reputation, and through seeing that, they know that you are not typically a person who breaks the king's law and attacks other people. This will allow you to form more solid social groups. But there's also a second advantage to it. It also means that anyone attacking you will receive a higher penalty in reputation. So if you're a model citizen and someone attacks you, they will lose a drastic amount of reputation for this attack. And that somewhat protects you from people who are not quite willing to take that step and go down into the outlaw way of life. You can lose reputation in several ways. Primarily, you lose reputation by attacking other people. When you declare to be an outlaw and you enable your player killing mode, you will lose any positive reputation that you've gained up to that point. You are basically by renouncing the king's law, you basically lose any trust you've previously built up with them. From that point on, when you attack someone, you will lose reputation based on their standing. If they're another neutral player, the reputation loss will be minimal. If they are a good citizen, if they've accumulated some positive reputation, you'll lose quite a significant amount. Furthermore, if you, after attacking them, actually knock them out or kill them, the reputation penalties will be even higher. There are several consequences to having a negative reputation. One is that you are unable to leave the path of an outlaw. Once you've renounced the king's law, you may find that if you've taken too many negative actions, you may not be able to rejoin society, and you may not be able to actually disengage your PvP mode. The other way to lose, or the other consequence of losing reputation, is that you may not be allowed into the king's cities anymore. The guards will recognize you at the gate and will prevent you from entering or even attack you.